In the waning days of the 19th century, in the heart of Rome, resided Calidora, a soulless witch with fiery red hair and a black heart. She ran a portrait studio, offering intimate photography for couples, but her true trade was far more sinister. Calidora targeted the rich and influential, captains of industry, esteemed politicians, and men of prominence. Under the guise of hospitality, she plied them with spirits laced with opium, rendering them senseless, then captured them in the most scandalous and lecherous of poses. With her photographic evidence, she weaved a web of extortion, threatening to unveil their indiscretions to the press. Wealth and power flowed into her hands as the great men of Rome cowered beneath her grasp, more fearful of ruin than of death itself. The more revered the victim, the greater her pleasure in their subjugation. She amassed a fortune, relishing her dominion over the city's elite. Enter Matteo, an Italian man in his late 30s, bold, wily, and utterly fearless. He had heard whispers of Calidora's ill-gotten wealth, but dismissed them as the jealous murmurs of weaker men. Confident in his charm and cunning, he accepted her invitation to dine in her apartment above the studio, believing himself immune to her traps. Morning came, and Matteo awoke with no memory of the night before. Upon arriving home, he found a letter from Calidora, enclosed with photographs of him in a most compromising state. She knew his wealth, his properties, and his business dealings. Her demand, relinquish his property, or his disgrace would be laid bare before his family and associates. Fury ignited within Matteo. He would not be counted among Calidora's victims. Instead, he turned his sights on exposing her for the true menace she was. Through careful investigation, he uncovered her ties to a clandestine witches' coven and set about obtaining irrefutable evidence. Under cover of darkness, he infiltrated their secret gatherings, capturing photographic proof of her unholy rites. Armed with damning images, Matteo carried his case to the Vatican and Rome's elite. Calidora's empire of fear crumbled beneath the weight of her own sins. The church and state moved swiftly. She was seized, tried, and imprisoned for fraud, blackmail, and conspiracy. Her once feared name faded into infamy, and her influence was no more. Thus the reign of Calidora ended, her wicked empire reduced to ruin. And Matteo, the man who feared nothing, emerged victorious, his name untainted, his wealth untouched, and his vengeance satisfied.